Hello, world. Welcome to episode 152 of the Jimmy Canz show. It is prediction time. It is Royal Rumble season. We are in a new year. Exciting things are going down. We've got The Rock on the board now. We got Raw moving to Netflix next year. It's crazy.
And this arguably is my favorite pay-per-view of the year or special live event of the year.
Premium live event now.
Premium cuts of live events. We're getting
Yeah.
we're getting premium cuts of live events here.
Yeah, I love the Rumble too. It's always exciting.
Yes.
And that timer is ticking down. Who's coming out next?
Yeah. My wife, she's a fairly good strong wrestling fan, but Royal
Casual
Rumble.
fan, more
Yeah.
casual.
Casual, but has a history, kind of grew up,
Hmm.
generationally wrestling, but not particularly something she would make sure she watches on Monday night herself.
Hmm.
But the Royal Rumble, she's all in.
Yeah.
So it's a good time. I'm excited about this.
Yep. So this Saturday from St. Petersburg, Florida, Tropicana Field. Um, should be interesting. The first time they're back at Tropicana since the Thunderdome days. So
No.
So not a particularly large card. For obvious reasons, you got to get two Rumble matches in. So there's 2 hours pretty much of your show just in that. And then you got a fatal four-way, which is going to take a good chunk of time too, I'm sure.
Hmm.
So pretty small card, but let's get into it. We will kick things off hot. We will start it off by talking about the men's Rumble. As always, we'll do our surprise entrant. Qualifications there can be an injury return, minimum of 6 weeks off of TV, former competitor returning, debuting first time signing. All those things qualify as a surprise. Uh,
Surprise.
Yet we will talk about our final fours and our overall winner. So let us get into it. Obviously, the winner receives a main event title match at Mania. Some intrigue there as well with the knee injury to Seth. Will this sideline him for Mania? Will he be able to go with just some rest? We'll have to wait and see. So I will kick us off here
Let's go.
with my surprise. And
Surprise, surprise.
yeah, and my surprise will be a returning Andrade.
Surprise, surprise. That's kind of okay. I like it. Okay, how'd you what was the journey? What
He's
drove you
just
to this decision?
his contract's up at AEW. His
Hmm.
wife works for the company. Just kind of all signs pointing to him returning. He had a great run under the Triple H led NXT. Triple H is now in charge of creative. I think he was a little disenfranchised with Vince. Vince is no longer in charge of creative, so I think he will be more than happy to return.
Do you think that he individually, in your opinion, is a better wrestler now? Is he a more complete
Um,
product
I,
now?
I don't think he was incomplete before. I don't
I
think
know, I know.
I you
I
know I've
agree.
been
I agree.
I don't think AEW did anything to make him any better. I'll be honest with you. I think AEW missed the ball on him a lot.
Okay.
To be
Okay.
honest, I think he ended up like there was an initial kind of buzz when he got there, and then it kind of fizzled out, and it turned his AEW run turned into his main roster Vince run.
Got you. Got
And
you.
that's
And look, if it's gonna be a main roster Vince run, might as well do it in the WWE, right?
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, it's not going to be a main roster Vince run now because Triple H is in charge. So,
Yeah, and what I'm saying though is if he's gonna go to AEW and get the
mhm.
same treatment he's getting at
Yeah,
WWE, you might as well do it at WWE.
yep. So
All
who you
right.
got? Who's your surprise? Let's see. What we got? What we got? What we got?
Well, I feel like with Carlito there already,
Uh,
kind of foreshadowing,
uh,
and Lashley being a staple these
uh-huh.
days. I like Chris Masters coming back.
Ooh, wow. That's kind of out of left field.
Yeah.
Chris Masters
I like
returning.
Chris Masters coming back for Royal Rumble 2024.
Interesting.
Obviously not winning it, but maybe, but having maybe having a run in with Lashley in there, maybe a little something where he eliminates Lashley, or something to
Uh-huh.
kind of fan those flames and get it, see if we can rekindle something there.
Hmm. Who has the better full Nelson?
Uh, and if you're asking me, probably Lashley.
Yes. So, so those are our surprises. Next up, Rob, why don't you give me your final four?
All right. So final four for the men's Royal Rumble 2024. One second here. So this is always, this takes even more thought
Yeah.
because you gotta visualize how it plays out, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of how the crowd's rocking. They may even be making some calls on the fly,
Mm-hmm.
but I think when the dust settles, we're gonna wind up with Gunther, Cody Rhodes,
Mm-hmm.
The Rock,
Uh-huh.
and Dominic Mysterio, whom I think will
Interesting.
be in the final, the one of the last person with the Rock in the ring.
Ooh, Dom and the Rock. I mean,
Dom and the Rock.
Dom and the Rock is the final two, huh?
Final two.
Uh, uh,
It'll be so it'll feel so incredible.
mm. So you think they're gonna, yeah, ooh, you think they're gonna roll back with, you know, Gunther and Cody being in there that much near the end since they were the final two last year?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It even sells more like one of them deserves it this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing if Rock makes it, he'll be number 30.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't coming to do like he ain't coming to do no Iron Man Rumble appearance.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's on the board now, so he could just,
Yeah, I don't know if his body's on board though. He might be on the board, but I don't know if his body's on board. So
yeah. Okay, so my final four are Solo Sikoa, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and excuse me, Senior Money in the Bank and
oh,
co-holder of the tag team titles, Damian Priest.
so at least we agree on Cody.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how did give us a little bit of a tour of how you got these four. What?
I think, Solo is had a good run. I think, you can kind of put him in there and it can kind of be, oh, he's going to try to make sure, certain people don't win to help protect Roman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And everything there. So that was there. I mean, Priest, I think there's some intriguing things you could do there with him that have never been done before, in terms of a Money in the Bank winner, then
Yeah.
getting the guarantee. So like, as the money, you could go out, if you get that main event
Yep.
title match, you could go out there, beat the ever loving snot out of the person, get
Mm-hmm.
DQ'd, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter, and then cash in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I think that could be a really kind of interesting thing, direction to go. It's never been done. And then, Punk and Cody are kind of obvious
Mm-hmm.
ones
Yeah.
right now, in terms of the direction and the way things are looking. So that being said, I think that the final two are Cody and Punk.
Okay.
And I am going to go with CM Punk. I think Cody's too obvious right now. You know, I I know you've got The Rock there. I don't think he enters the Rumble, to be honest with you. Um, so
Okay.
we'll see what happens there. I mean, I don't. The Rock doesn't need to win the Rumble to get into
Of course. Of course.
consideration for anything. He's The Rock.
If The Rock wins the Rumble, it would be more to help the Rumble, I think, than to help
Well,
Rock.
I don't think
Yeah,
the Rumble needs help, to be honest with
I'm
you.
saying like The Rock definitely doesn't need the Rumble, right? He doesn't
Mm-hmm.
need to win the Royal Rumble to get a
Mm-hmm.
shot. I think him winning the Rumble, though, I'm saying I think helps the event more than it helps to like legitimize why
Mm-hmm.
he's you
Mm-hmm.
know getting
So
that
that
title
being
shot.
said,
Mm-hmm.
who's your winner?
I'm going Rocky. I'm going Rocky. Uh, yeah, I think that Roman obviously beats Randy and I mean harrowingly. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like by the hair
Mm-hmm.
on his teeth,
Mm-hmm.
on the skin on his teeth. But and I think Punk wins the Rumble and
Mm-hmm.
he goes after Seth. And I think
You mean
uh
Chamber?
yeah, sorry. Yeah, I think he wins the Chamber and goes after
Mm.
Seth. And
Spoilers for next month.
sorry, sorry. But yeah. I think they're working like that because I'm just trying to think of the biggest possible Mania match.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And Mania has to be like appealing to even casuals, right?
Yeah.
Because we're trying to make the biggest show possible. So
Mm-hmm. Okay. So next up, we will discuss the bout for the United States Championship. The prize fighter Kevin Owens challenging social media megastar the Maverick Logan Paul. Um, Rod,
yeah.
who you got?
Uh think Logan. I think
Logan to retain, huh?
I think Logan gets a big win on the big stage, deservingly, big retention,
Mm-hmm.
at a huge show, one of the big four.
Mm-hmm.
I like Logan for that.
I'm gonna go KO. Honestly, I don't feel this Logan Paul run has created the outside buzz that the
Mm,
WWE thought it would.
mm-hmm.
Him being the title holder, I don't think they're getting those extra eyes that they really thought they would. So
Yeah.
for that reason, I think it makes more sense to put the belt back on a full-time performer going into Mania season.
Yeah. Something, and I could agree with that too. I don't think that little Logan Paul return on investment as far as the push here.
Yeah, I don't think, like I said, I thought they were going to get all these outside eyes on the product as a result of this and all this talk about him. You know what I mean? And I
Mm-hmm.
just don't see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. He's not touring Good Morning America like the Ultimate
Yeah,
Warrior back in
he's not all over the place, and yeah,
the
and all that kind of stuff. So like I said, I just don't see it. Creating. It's not like he's doing other things, right? Other major things outside of
hmm
WWE right now, like any other boxing matches or something, like where he can come out with a WWE title in, you know what I mean, on a
hmm
different type of platform and all that type of stuff. So I don't. Yeah, I just don't think it's working out the way they thought it was going to.
I'll buy it. I can see that.
So next up for the undisputed universal title, um, we've got revenge on the line all over the place here. It's going to be a fatal four-way now. You've got the Viper, Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight all challenging the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Um, you know, this is the most Jeopardy, so to speak, that Roman has been in a while. In a fatal four way, he doesn't even have to be involved in the outcome uh, to lose the title here. So could get interesting. Um, for me, um, I'm going to officially say Roman retains. If Rock Roman is the direction they want to go in, Roman really doesn't need the title. Rock Roman kind of sells itself. Honestly, the title kind of complicates things, but I'm still going to say Roman wins. I just don't know what you do with the title in that situation though. Like Rock is not going to be a full-time competitor,
hmm
so like kind of where does that go if you do that? And then, does it Roman retaining really do anything there? I mean, Rocky to come back and I don't know. It's kind of complicated. Which way you going?
So I'm going Roman also.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that the biggest match that can be made at WrestleMania is Roman Reigns, undisputed world champion Roman Reigns versus The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest match that can be made. I think if he does dethrone Roman,
Mm-hmm.
he can always do something like, split the belts. He came back to set to right kind of
Well,
the deal there and just
hmm
hand the belts back over. I did this for my family.
hmm
It was out of control. He was out of control with the power.
hmm Speaking of splitting the belts, here's another thing that the direction they could go in this fatal four. And if just food for thought.
Yes, yes.
What if it's a double pin?
And Roman pinned somebody, and somebody else pinned somebody, and Roman keeps
Yeah, yeah.
one in the.
Like you say, Roman pins LA Knight and Randy pins AJ
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
simultaneously, and then they could split, and then you could have Rock, and then Roman could continue that Universal run because that's
Mm-hmm.
the longer one of the two. Then the WWE title kind of becomes its own thing again, and then maybe they merge the WWE title with the world title down the line or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think, yeah, all these, these are ways that they could go. I just don't know if
Mm-hmm.
if this year at WrestleMania there's anything bigger than undisputed Roman Reigns versus The Rock.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do anything before WrestleMania. I don't know if they still are able to land with the same type of impact, no matter which
Mm-hmm.
way they go on
Mm-hmm.
on, on Mania Sunday,
So.
or the bigger than Rock. And because Rock and Roman, this Roman,
Mm-hmm.
it would be as big as Rock and Cena.
Yeah.
So, I know that's always the bottom line. It's
Yeah. It's about making money. About making money, brother. So last but not least, the women's rumble. Again, we'll do our surprises, our final fours, and our overall winners. Winner gets the title opportunity of their choosing. Uh, who is going to be your surprise entrant?
I think she makes her in-ring debut.
Who?
I think Jade
Ooh, Jade Cargill.
makes her in-ring debut.
Ah,
I know she's been around, and it's not that we don't know that she's in the company, and
yeah,
but I
so her
think
first in ring at the Rumble.
yes, correct, correct.
Interesting. I mean, do you think though? I mean, I know they have big things planned for her,
Hmm.
so it with it being her debut. I mean, I don't want to spoil your overall thing, but like if I think her first in ring needs to be a win. So do. So we'll see. I mean,
Yeah, maybe it is.
and maybe
Maybe
it is. Well,
it
let's see.
is.
So my surprise is somebody who hasn't been around a long time.
Hmm.
Um and I think be a little nostalgia poppy kind of thing.
Okay.
Her husband recently came back, health froze over. I think we could see AJ Lee. Um you know, it's a rumble. You
AJ.
don't need to do too much. You go out there, you do a
Hmm.
couple of things. Maybe you throw one or two people out, then you get thrown out. You know what I mean? So you don't need to kind of have the whole ring chops back. And
Yeah.
it just be kind of a cool thing because she has been around a while. The way she kind of left wasn't the greatest. So it could be a nice way for her to kind of get that final bow.
Yeah. But what if she comes in and somehow she eliminates Nia Jax before she gets eliminated?
Yeah.
I think with Jade, yeah, I'm sorry. We'll have to go to the next portion.
Yeah, we'll get to the next
We'll,
one. So our final fours. Our final four, my final four. Um, I will say Nia, Becky, Kyrie, and Bailey.
okay. All right. So for me, I have obviously Jade. I'm gonna go Bailey, Becky, and Bianca.
Bianca? I thought
I'm
you
sorry. I'm sorry. I meant Nia. I'm
Nia.
sorry. Speaking. Sorry,
Okay.
everybody.
Mhm. Okay. Uh, so we're almost in lockstep on our finals. I just have
Kyrie.
Kyrie and you got Jade.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Interesting.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay. So for me, the overall winner. Oh no, you give me your overall winner.
All right. I think Jade makes it to the to the final three.
Mm-hmm.
I think she eliminates Becky.
Ooh.
I think she eliminates Nia.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's in the final two.
Yep.
I think Bailey pulls it out though.
Bailey pulls it out. Um, I'm going to agree. I think Bailey wins this one. I think Nia and Becky will eliminate each other.
Hmm.
They'll just be really going and they'll both kind of go out, and then it comes down to two members of damage control. I think this is where we kind of start to see the fracture really
Hmm.
escalate here when it's Kyrie and Bailey. And then I think, Bailey pulls it out, and I think she goes on to challenge Io. I think damage control completely fractures uh, as a result of this.
I could even see a situation where I'm sorry, what's the other member of Damage Control that's in the Rumble?
Um, I mean, we don't know. I mean, you're
Oh,
gonna
so
probably have Asuka, Kai. You know what I mean?
yeah, so I could see a situation too where Bailey gets help from another member of Damage Control to eliminate maybe a Nia,
Mm-hmm.
and then she turns immediately and throws that member out,
Possible.
teammate out. Just because the Royal Rumble creates that friction, like you were saying, it creates
Mm-hmm.
that every man, every person for themselves
Mm-hmm.
dynamic. So I can see some things along those lines too.
Interesting. All right. So, all right. So our differences in this one, women's surprises. You got Jade, I got AJ. Our men's surprises, I got Andrade, you got Masters. In terms of our finals, you got Cargill, and oh, I guess you did. All right, you got Cargill, I got Sane, and then our men's finals were all over the place. We only had Cody the same, uh, and everything there. So should be an interesting one here. Next week we'll be back at you to discuss Vengeance Day. NXT Vengeance Day is coming up the next weekend. So you got the Rumble this weekend, and then
Hmm.
Vengeance Day the following weekend. Then after that, what do we got? We got Chamber, and then it's Mania weekend. So
Vengeance Day.
so that'd be interesting. So as we get closer and closer to Mania, we should start to hear about Hall of Fame announcements.
Correct.
So who do you think headlines the Hall of Fame class this year?
Oh man, you got me. I haven't even let my mind go yet. I haven't let my mind go there yet. Oh
And
man. Who
I mean, for my two says, I think it makes the most sense
hmm
um, for a headliner this year with Mania being in Philadelphia. Put in Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Put in Paul Heyman and let him headline it. I mean, that Philly crowd will go ballistic.
And then he could be the living legend, Paul Heyman.
I mean, I just don't see, because they tried to find somebody, that's really big in the area. That's something that they've been doing here in recent years
Hmm.
with it. I mean, when it was in Texas, they did Taker, who's a native Texan. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
Last year was in Los Angeles, but they did Mysterio, who's from San Diego, so you still have that Southern California tie. Uh, so let's see what they do here. I mean, with it being, like I said, in Philly, I mean, you think in terms of ECW, I mean, RVD's already in. A lot of the Dudleys are already in. A lot of the other bigger name ECW guys. It, I mean, personally, I feel a lot of them deserve to be in, but I don't see if the powers that be within WWE will put some of them in. Like Raven, Shane Douglas, Sandman,
Yeah,
Taz is signed with AEW right now, so there's no way they're going to do that.
yeah,
So I mean, like the only the biggest name for ECW that you could put in right is Heyman.
yeah, yeah. and he's and he is as big as any of those names,
Oh, if not bigger.
if not bigger, if not bigger. Yes, he's bigger than Sandman, right? He's yeah,
You
yeah. So
know, and like I said, the Dudleys are in already, RVD's in already, Tommy Dreamer was, but I mean, he Tommy Dreamer was ECW, because he also did a lot behind the scenes.
yes, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but he was only a one-time ECW champion. He didn't have a whole lot of success in WWE. I think he was only ever a hardcore champion. You know what I mean? In
yeah,
WWE, which, like, who wasn't a hardcore champion?
yeah. They was passing that thing around.
So, I don't see the Dreamer getting in their eyes, uh, and everything. So for that reason, like I said, Heyman's the only one that makes sense to me.
I'll bet.
So,
I'd sit and listen to a Paul Heyman Hall of Fame induction
oh
uh,
yeah,
speech,
he's the wise man.
and just a great raconteur, like a storyteller that it's
Hmm.
it's gonna be missed too when he's
Yeah,
gone.
yeah. Do you think they finally put Demolition in?
This would be a good year if Heyman's the headliner. This would be the perfect year for Demolition.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of like that. I think Demolition. Same thing with Heyman. Even though Heyman's, he's brought it to modern times.
Mm-hmm.
Those are guys that just really just epitomize kind of that transitional period in wrestling. Like I know Demolition was a little bit before Heyman really became. He
Mm-hmm.
was, he was probably dangerously somewhat
Yeah,
during
he was
Demolition
Paulie dangerously with
during that era, during that
yeah.
time period. But I think those two together, just when I hear it, it it,
Mm-hmm.
it, it has a good harmony
Mm-hmm.
in the same Hall of Fame class. So I hope so.
Yeah. So, one last thing before we get out of here, I just got to gauge your reaction. How you feeling about the return of your boys, the authors of pain?
Now let's talk. You know me.
uh,
You know that's my type of party.
yeah,
That's- so yeah, I feel like the company just got better.
yeah. And I think it got better with the fact that not only did they bring them back, but they brought them back with Paul Ellering.
Yeah, nobody else could do it. It could be nobody else.
Hmm.
It could be nobody else. Maybe Paul Heyman.
Eh.
You know what I mean?
But
Paul
he
Ellering.
but he's doing his bloodline thing.
That's what I'm
So,
saying. Nobody else would fit that. So, you know, because Paul Ellering, he has the element of it's not so much that he went and found these guys out of the jungles per se,
uh-huh.
but these are just some tough like mercenary dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It has that sort. They're not uncivilized. They're just
Mhm.
wild men in this wild society. So
Mhm.
I'm all for it, man. I'm all for the authors of pain.
Yeah. So there you have it. Give us your picks as well down below. Always like to hear from you guys. Give us a like, a share, a subscribe, and wherever you are, we hope you're doing well. Take care of one another, and we will see you when we see you.
See y'all.